Wow, here we are again, Charmaine. Where did that week go?
We made it.
We made it, yes. And we got a story to tell where we've been this morning. Welcome everybody to the Karen Howe Upleveling Your Life show. This is where it's all happening. So what we wanted to cover off today was about allowing or creating infinite possibilities whilst knowing you are already enough. Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Howe, your transformational coach, inspirational writer and author, and published author, I might say. And I am here to say you are enough. Woohoo! Over to you, Charmaine. I'll let you do your intro.
Yeah, my name's Charmaine Livingston and I do my work through my business Soul Frequency Feng Shui. My mission is to help people find their direction and create more balance and harmony, ultimately healing their lives and their bodies simultaneously and allowing them to be the best versions of themselves they wish to be through Feng Shui.
And you do such an amazing job at that.
Thank you.
As well. So look at me with my backdrop today. Infinite possibilities. You know, we've got the world at our feet. I always like to say, but I'm just out there in space, you know, our reality and I guess how we think about reality. We only know this much and there's so much more, but it's being open to it. I just find this is so powerful. And what I've found recently, well, so recently, but for a while now, is having your own back 100%. So really believing in yourself. So for me, it was believing in myself and having my own back. And the future being, you know, just infinite possibilities. That's become my mantra, Charmaine. So I think you've been hanging out with me seeing that often enough now.
Yeah. Everything is infinite.
Yeah. And what I found during the process I went through, and it is a process, every day you can actually look at familiar sights, but you can see them for the very first day. So, you know, when you look at something and you go, I didn't notice that before. And it's just a little change of that thing that you notice. And I just like, there are just endless ways of seeing what was always there. But because we're not open to it or we're in too much of a hurry and, you know, it's that stop and smell the roses thing, Charmaine.
Yeah.
We're not paying attention. So if we're paying attention, we notice all these things. And Charmaine and I both this morning were out early, walking the path less traveled, and I have grazes. It was the whole fall down. You know, I looked at this path and I'm going, I'd already set myself up though, because I'm thinking, I'm not sure I can do this. But I thought, I'm doing it. I'm just going to hit it head on. And it was a small risk, I guess, but, you know, it was a risk nonetheless. I fell down. We laughed. And Charmaine didn't quite get that on video, so sorry, can't share that. I could probably show you my grazes. But I fell down and I just thought, I laughed my head off. I laughed at myself and I got back up again. And I went back and did it again because I was determined to actually do it without falling over. But I suppose, you know, for me, this was all about shaping me. And I like to share my stories with people. So, yeah, that was fun. We had a lot of fun. We got some photos, so we'll share those, those photos, the infinite.
That was really fun, really fitting.
But we went out there without thinking about how this walk was going to transpire. We got an amazing bush out the back here, so didn't need to do masks, didn't need to do anything to, you know, we were away from people. And we just walked the path and went, what about this way? What about this way? We actually nearly, well, I'd say we nearly got lost. Fortunately, Charmaine had her phone on and we ended up doing the GPS and we weren't lost. But we just...
You're never lost. Really?
Lost, intuitively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no mistakes.
So it's actually making sure we don't miss out on these opportunities, whether they be small or however big they are, and not just accepting the reality as we know it. So it's actually exploring and allowing. Because when I was younger, and I tell my story, I never felt I was enough. And I'm going to try not to get upset during this because it still does affect me. I was ugly. I was the ugly duckling because that's what I've been told. And I believed it. I was this or wasn't that. I wasn't good enough. I was living my life through others because I didn't believe in myself.
I think that's the key. Like, you weren't ugly. It was a belief system installed in you. So what you believe becomes your reality, but you ask the question, is it really true? And no, it's not. It's just a belief that's been instilled, and beliefs can be unprogrammed because they are programmed early on and they can be unprogrammed. So you can believe, no, of course I'm not ugly yet. That's what I was led to believe, and it shaped me that way.
And I'm living proof of that now, Charmaine. So thank you for that confirmation, because now I know
You
that
are
I'm
very
good enough.
beautiful.
And I just say to myself, you know, I've got your back. And you know what? The age I was when I was obviously impacted, and it's that teenage stage, you know, you're very you know, just self-conscious, and you
You're
worry about
comparing a lot.
comparing yourself with
Yeah.
other people. And, you know, I just felt I was this self-conscious little girl. But I've got a photo of her now on my desk with this smile. It's almost like this smile came after, because I see this now that I didn't see before or feel before. And she's like, you've got this. And well
Yeah.
done. So proud of you. So, you know, it is so good to actually be able to see yourself back as that at that point in time, that trigger or whatever happened in your life, to then change that
Yeah.
and notice it.
Yeah. That's why we do that when we do the shadow work, or we do the past life or past trauma regression. They always get you to see your older self and then see your younger self, as if you travel back in time to that point where you were struggling as a teenager, and yourself now, it says in your ear, you got this, girl, you know.
Yeah. It's like, what was I thinking? Why did I do that to myself? But then it was a process.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking about the possibilities, because one thing I did always remain was very optimistic. When I was a young person, I would always push through with this optimism. Like, nobody could really be that bad. Nobody could really, you know, those girls surely, you know, can't be that horrible, you know. All the things I felt, I just kept thinking, surely there's, you know, there's good people out there, you know. So I had to go and find my own tribe, because I saw myself as a little bit different. I didn't see myself as the girl. I was trying to fit in and turning myself inside out to fit in, and felt judgment. And interesting, I heard this just recently, is that you will never get acceptance from people who judge. Never.
No.
So just walk away. Go and find the people that, you know, will embrace you.
And people that are judging you are themselves, they are judging themselves at the same time. When you make a judgment on someone, it's usually because you see something in that person that you're already judging yourself about.
Yes.
So when you make a judgment, you go, oh, look at that. You can think to yourself, like, why am I judging her? What is it that I see in me that propels me to want to judge her? And it comes from you. So back then, if you could think those people judging you are just judging themselves, they're insecure in themselves, and that's why they're judging them. They see something in you that they also see in themselves. So that's why they do it.
And I catch myself with that now.
Yeah.
You know, I catch myself, if I go to judge, I go, okay, stop, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And why did I feel that need to judge that person in whatever, you know,
yeah.
it was. So
what's this triggered in me that I maybe still need to heal, or maybe, you know, that I can't see,
yes,
you know, in myself. Yeah.
So for me, I was a 6th grade student, redhead with freckles and pale skin. I didn't want to be left out. So I tried everything to fit in, because I stood out. I didn't want to stand out. But I needed to stand out. So I now seek out these, what we call infinite possibilities. I now maintain that. I just, I'm hungry for it now. So I show up in the world by being me, the unraveled me, not the one that, you know, I had this perception of this little redhead girl with freckles, not that detail. You know, I'm Karen, I'm me.
Yeah.
But it does take doing that inner work and listening to what the next step is. Because
Yeah,
I found there was a calling. I needed to do that.
yeah. And it's all leading up to being the amazing person you are now. So without this life experience, you can't relate to people and tell your story. So it's all for that reason. And our mission in life is just that. I mean, um, we're born with all, say, past. We're born into this world innocent, but with, say, past life trauma or missions. I see it as like areas in our life where we need to heal or need to work on, and they're our lessons for this lifetime. So yeah, it's all just that stuff.
Yeah, and learning them sooner rather than later is better. So
Yeah.
commitment to your life, that's really important. Committing to your life and closing those back doors, jumping in fully to your life and living it. So for me, I committed to writing my story and publishing my book. That gave me much more insight to my life as I researched and studied, and I went within myself to find those gems,
Yeah,
those
amazing
turning
tools in
points.
that book.
Yeah.
Amazing tools. Great stuff.
So, because I realized I was living my life for everyone else, so I wanted to claim that back. So that was hence the reason why the book was Reclaim Your Life,
Yeah.
because I started listening to myself fully, allowing the truth.
Yeah, live your truth. Great
Yeah.
title. And
But it's
because you
not
weren't
for
living your
everyone.
truth, you were
Yeah.
living for everyone else, which is, yeah.
And I kind of imagine now, really, if I was to have not done that, didn't share that message, how many lives have I impacted? Even if I only impacted one, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for me, if I just sat here and went, oh, I can't do that, I'm afraid to go on camera, and I'm not bagging those that are feeling this way, because it took me a while to get here. So I know what it feels like. But I said to myself, get out of your own way, girlfriend, and do this, because you've got a message to share. It would be like a bee. I don't know, what's a crazy analogy? A bee at a plant, and holding them back from making the honey. No, that you shouldn't do that. That's their natural innate thing that they do.
Yeah, that's the
So
natural
you
flow of
wouldn't,
things.
it's a flow, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've kind of got these blocks because we're stopping ourselves from fear of, what people will think of us. And it's
Yeah.
fantastic, because I no longer care about that.
No, and people reading your book, there'll be a relatable moment in there for everybody that they can relate to, and keep driving home that choose to challenge. So, and they can just relate to you and then choose to challenge. It's life changing, just little tools that they can have in their toolbox to use forever. Yeah, and you're living proof of that. It's freedom.
Thank you. Yes, amazing. Hey, listen, from our walk this morning, I know you had some expressions there that you wanted to share about, because you fall sometimes. The metaphors that we were talking about.
Yeah. Well,
Let's share some
it's
of
a
them.
metaphor, but it's also now happened to us in real life. So what we talk about is don't stop leaping, like taking that leap of faith, taking those risks, accepting those challenges and missions. Like, so don't stop leaping just because you fall sometimes. If people say, oh, you fell, you're no good at this, you should just give up. Like um, Karen told you her story this morning where she fell and rolled down a hill. But I recently as well was out on a walk, and I was on rocks, and I thought that I could make this leap of faith out to this far end rock. And I thought, I'll ask the question as I'm leaping, if I can make it safely to this rock, it'll be a metaphor answer to me that I am ready to take the next leap of faith in my life, as we always talk about and we express here, of take that leap, take that leap. And I was sure I could do it, but I leaped and it was slimy. The tide had obviously just gone down, and I slipped spectacularly and fell on my ass and proceeded to roll into the water. And so I was wet. Luckily, I put my phone down. So maybe I did hesitate, because maybe I thought maybe I won't make it because I did put my phone down. But
Set yourself up, girlfriend.
yeah, but I got out of the water and thought, well, there's my answer. But I thought to myself, I'm going to write about this, because there's something in this, because I will be back. I won't be letting that rock conquer me, and I won't stop leaping. Even if I fall on my ass for the next 10 times, I'll still leap. And that's a metaphor for life. Like, don't stop trying. And
No.
whilst knowing you are already enough, still keep leaping.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you fall, doesn't mean you're hopeless, worthless.
And laugh at yourself. Don't
Yeah.
too quick to
Oh,
look
we
around and see
laughed
if
so
anybody
hard this
saw you.
morning.
Yeah,
Didn't we?
we did laugh hard. That
We
is
did.
another key area, is laughing. We need to laugh more. And,
Yeah, the whole
this is
science around that.
exactly. And this
Yeah.
is the whole thing with these infinite possibilities. It's not about setting the bar so high that you can't get there. They're actually little gems. Like, we were talking about the feeling rich in the now. You
Yeah.
don't have to be rich. It's being aware of your, what we would call $1,000,000 moments, a
Yeah.
hug or a kiss, a loving gaze, a smile, a time where you took a risk and could have died, but you didn't.
Yeah. They're golden. They're $1,000,000 moments. And they're
they're the ones we go for.
yeah, and just acknowledging where you are now is also enough and where you're supposed to be, because you can't build on up-leveling your life without first acknowledging that your present is a success. So yeah, I lost my train of thought there, where we were going with the
Those
leaping.
$1,000,000 moments.
Yeah, for sure. Like just being
There's lots of
present.
them.
Yeah, and being, I guess, acknowledging where you are right now as a success, but still wanting to build on them, is saying that, yes, I am enough, and look how far I've come. I am good enough, and it's not bad for me to want more. Because sometimes if we set our goals so high, we can be putting out to the universe that we are lacking because we want so much. It's saying to ourselves we don't have enough in the same projection. So that's not what we want to do. We don't want to be projecting. We don't have. We want more because we don't have enough. We want more, just because we want to enrich our lives and
Yes.
evolve, not because we're acknowledging that we don't have enough.
And and why do you want more, and what do you want more of is very specific. That's the key, because you could be just trying for something that really, why do you want that thing? Why
Yeah.
do you really want it? Is that just going to fill a gap or a void for you? Let's get you feeling much better within yourself, and you don't need those void fillers. You will find, I mean, Charmaine, I'll use an example. I used to wear a lot of rings, a lot of jewelry. I don't even wear my wedding ring anymore. Jeff and I both agreed that we don't need a wedding ring to prove how much we love each other.
Yeah.
We don't need that material thing. We know, but it's the
Simplicity.
jewelry. Simplicity. I just got rid of, when I started on this journey, I just got rid of stuff. It was annoying me. And I lived for those things. I lived for, the best of this, and I had to have I had to have certain things. And I realized I was just filling a void. I wasn't happy within myself.
Yeah, that's the old conditioning of the more gold you wear, the richer you are. Yeah. But you might look rich on the outside, but are you rich on the inside is what we're talking about. We're talking about feeling wealthy in life. And so those things that you are wanting more of are love, health, and freedom. And so that's what you're striving for, that love and above, that high frequency. That's
good every day. Yeah.
That's the more we're talking about. That's the taking the leap, and that's the more that we're striving for.
Yeah. And look, I suppose some examples that we were talking about as well before we finish up is, if you're a homeless person just wants a warm bed and a full belly. That's their $1,000,000 moment.
Yeah.
To us, we think, gosh, that's just an expectation. Well, to them, it's not. That's what they dream about. And when you dream of losing someone, then wake up realizing it's not true, this is a moment, because you feel a rush of bliss. I know I've had this where I've woken up and, I've lost Dylan.
Yeah.
And the feeling of that when he's nonverbal. And then when I wake up thinking, oh, it was just a dream.
Yeah.
That gratitude, that feeling is the $1,000,000 moment.
Yeah, it's enormous. And it's the shift in perception. That's that wake up call that we're trying to achieve without the crisis. After surviving plane crashes, they'll always tell that they are changed forever, and they are now living in a state of gratitude just to be breathing. They are forever changed. Every smell, every touch is a $1,000,000 moment for them. And imagine walking around like that every day, but it shouldn't have to take a plane crash to get there. You can be aware every day and just say, this moment's golden. If it wasn't for lockdown, I wouldn't be sitting here laughing with my friend. What a golden moment this is, you know, and just,
Absolutely.
yeah, for that. Yeah, that's
Yes,
living in the
thank you
now.
for that. We did laugh hard, I got to say. Okay. So I think I'd like to think we've covered off what we wanted to, I guess, share with you.
Yep.
Infinite possibilities. Just, look at them as small. Just stop and think about, your own life,
Just
and where
notice
you're at. Just
and
notice.
really see what is so precious in front of you right now. I mean, do it right now. What is right in front of you right now that is so precious? And you know, if you just look at someone and see them walk through the door or filthy from work, and you just go, "Oh, that's gold!" Like, you know, that's great stuff.
And you feel that warmth inside you, and the smile comes naturally to your face.
Yeah,
It's, they're the golden moments.
yeah. I'm glad you're here, because if you weren't, you know, I could imagine the sadness, and that's how you bring yourself back to center. Sometimes it's not that you're focusing on negative things or worrying that bad things are going to happen, but if you can imagine if they weren't there, or if they were in a plane crash, you know, how devastating would that be? And that this moment right now is amazing because they're there, you know. So that's how you live your every day, in that moment, and just being grateful in every moment for just breathing. So that's how you get there. That's how you get to that love and above, and just be grateful for waking up and say yay.
Yeah. Simplicity.
Yep.
Is,
Simplicity is the key to happiness.
well, as simplicity is to ecstasy.
It
equals ecstasy.
That's right.
And everything else comes together just the way
Yep.
it's meant to. Okay, well, that's it from me.
Yeah.
You got anything else to add, Charmaine?
No,
I'm living this infinite possibility. Look at
we're
me.
allowing, aren't we? Like
We
sometimes
are.
just getting out of your own way, and maybe sometimes when you try too much. Like if you're always trying, I see us as having a projecting, transmitting receiver, and a receiving antenna. And if we're like on a radio station, if you're transmitting too much, if you're trying too much, it'll simply cancel out any other stuff from coming in. You just won't receive it, or you won't see it.
No, you won't.
It
Hey,
can't
listen,
get
I'm
to you.
going to share a picture while I was getting quite serious this morning, with my backdrop, infinite possibilities. Jeffrey decided to join in as Super Jeff. With the virtual backgrounds, as you can see, there is a bit of distortion as I'm moving my phone around, but it just gives you an idea of, you can have a bit of fun with this. So here I was, and yeah.
Love him. He's like he's in your orbit. He's orbiting.
I wasn't sure whether his hands were coming from my neck or what was happening there, but it was a bit of fun.
He was Super Jeff in the background. It was good.
I love it. Gotta have fun, hey? All right. Thank you so much. For those out there, we can't see who's out there in our infinite possibility land.
Infinite blessings.
But we know you're with us, and there'll be the recording. So anybody that hasn't had a chance to join us this morning, but we'll say a farewell. I don't know what they say in, is it nanu nanu? Nanu nanu?
Is that what we're doing?
I'm out of space here. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go. Thanks, Charmaine, once again. And we'll put some, if you want to connect with either one of us, both of us, we'll put our details there for you. Charmaine is excellent. Yes. Charmaine is excellent at coming in and looking at your house and making sure your house is happy. So if you're having a lot of unhappy moments in your house, it could be that you just need some tweaks. And that's what Charmaine does. She'll tell you the areas of your house that are not so happy.
And start you on that journey of the heart. I can, start you on that journey, and the rest is up to you. And Karen's book is just a treasure chest.
I've got it here, actually.
Treasure chest of tools. If you want some lifelong tools, it's all in there.
Everyone I had a lot of fun writing this.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of raw stuff in there. A lot of, for some it's confronting, but I needed to put it in there. But it's not all about me and all my, just a little part of my life where it was I had to bring up to be able to move forward. So but there's lots of really good tips and tricks and
yeah. But that's what makes it good. It makes like people say, wow, she's really been there. And if you can do it, so can I. That's what you get from it. Amazing.
That's right. And I just wanted to draw in good things into my life and make sure that, you know, when I get to the end of my life, I can say, you know what, this has
It
been
was worth it.
it was worth it. I have
Yeah.
no regrets.
Yep.
No regrets whatsoever. And wake up, you know, happy and smiling and inspire the world.
Yep. And take those challenges on
Well,
head on, you know.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful thing. Thanks, honey.
Thank you.
I will be seeing you real soon.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. Have the
Bye.
most amazing, infinite possibility day ever. And love to all.
Blessings.